In the last class, we were discussing that the relationship between Prāṇa and Apāna. And as long as Apāna is karshati, Apānaha karshati pranam, Prāṇo Apāna cha karshati. So this pulling each other as long as it takes place. Prāṇa is pulling Apāna, and in return Apāna also pulling down Prāṇa. And that long definitely we are alive. Also, interestingly, one is supposed to know this, because this knower of this knowledge, what we call as yogavid, so what he will do, now he will bring harmony between this Prāṇa and Apāna. So once there is harmony in Prāṇa and Apāna, then you discover that your energy or you become a stable person. So the stability comes with the knowledge, not mere practice. Because when you have knowledge, of course, knowledge will make you to follow. Problem with all of us is we don't have knowledge, information, and with doubts, that too. So when the information, or you can say knowledge with doubts, definitely you take all logic not to follow, not to live. However, this is not our topic today. So the topic here is going to introduce very interesting point that we call as this mantra and japa. Because this yogi has a mantra, also does japa. It's an interesting point. As I would like to share, this is how I was, let me say, brought up. Maybe that made me to look things differently. I recollect one person those days. In fact, the elderly person, he was, one of my inspiration. And he had sakshatkar of his deity, means he had seen his deity. And interestingly, when he was talking this Ajapā mantra, from there I am bringing it here. Those days, just to get one, this Bhaja Govindam, that was called Moha Mudgara text. Just a small booklet to get. Those days he had to sell around 2 bags of paddy. So each bag is 75 kilos, okay? Okay, 2 bags of paddy he had to sell to get that book. That too, he had to travel with a boat and all the way searching, and he had to spend that much to collect that book. When the person gets this sort of things with great difficulties, Nakul, I think you should not attend the class. First of all, you are coming late. Last time you made the same mess, today also same mess. Means nothing is entering in you, okay? What you did yesterday, today you are doing the same thing. Is it acceptable? Please follow rules. This is not acceptable, okay? Last class you did the same mistake. Today also coming late and again making noise. Please allow me to talk at least, okay? This is not to be taught. And I am talking something to know Ajapā mantra, and you people are creating a mess. Then better not to talk, okay? I will be happy not to talk. Please, you people may think that I am tough. Please, this knowledge demands attention. The problem with you people, everything is, available conveniently. So when things are available conveniently, you don't give importance. That's why I am giving the example of the person. So when to get a book called Mohamudgara, this Bhaja Govindam, few verses, that to first 12 verses, he had to spend those days, imagine, many people were not getting rice. In India those days, remember, people were not having rice. The famine Britishers created, better, Second World War time. To have rice regularly, that itself was a luxury. You must be a really super duper rich person to have rice 365 days. I'm talking about those days. And the person had to sell, 2 bags of paddy, means almost around 1 quintal of rice, to get this book. 12 verses. Imagine when that person gets that book, how he will preserve that book. Why I am sharing? Because when I heard, I went to ask that book. He gave me because he loved me. Because that when I was like a 15, 16-year-old boy, he was above 70. But the way he handed over that book, till now I remember. Please, this book is more important than my life. Please take care of it. I never give this book to anybody, but I am giving you. And when I went through that book, till now I remember the memory in my mind. And after going through that, so he talked to me this Ajapā mantra. This is the topic today, okay? And till now I remember what he spoke. This is called seriousness of the teaching. If the teaching is not my primary goal, remember, nothing is going to enter. You look at the best example, Dhritarashtra. The Bhagavad Gita also was taught to whom? Dhritarashtra. But for Dhritarashtra, teaching was not a primary goal. His mind was focused where? What is going to happen to my children? So his primary goal was security, not knowledge. That's why, if you observe, nothing entered in the mind of Dhritarashtra. So teaching will work with a person. When you look at the teaching as a primary goal, today I was translating 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita towards end. I come across, that's why it is overlapping. So there everything, that person is dearer to me. The one who lives, the one who makes that, makes the teaching as primary. That's why we say, very unfortunately, just I'm dragged to the different topic. I thought, complete this text, but my mind got carried away now. That's why we say, what is the purpose of sannyasa? A sannyasa job is not to become Mahamandaleswaram Mahanta or traveling or writing or getting Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan awards, acknowledgements. No. The whole purpose of sannyasa is the person becomes sarva karma tyagi. That is the first point. So when the person is not bound, is not forced to do anything for anybody, only time is left for what? For Shravanam. So Shravanam, Mananam and Nitidhyasanam becomes what? The primary subject, primary goal. Everything moves around it. Either Shravanam, Mananam or Nitidhyasanam. That's why Swadhyaya ma pramaditavyam iti. Then only the person starts seeing the growth. So that's why a yogi, I'm talking serious text, please be careful, alert at least. So a yogi here is being taught The one who is aware. Aware of breathing. You people are not aware of class. How can you become aware of breathing? You understand? However, here it says, there is a mantra called haṁsa mantra. And the japa is called Ajapā mantra. These 2 points to be noted very carefully. Let us read. Hakarena bahiryati. Sakarena vishet punah. Haṁsa haṁsetyamum mantram. Jīva japati sarvada. It's a beautiful way of looking at it. A jīva continuously does japa. An individual continuously does repetition of a mantra, and that we call as haṁsa mantra. In fact, during sannyasa time, this is what is being talked. The mantra, when the Gayatri is being taken away, we are giving this haṁsa mantra, paramhansa mantra. That's why by default, a dasanami sannyasi who belongs to dasanama, 10th name, every sannyasi is a paramhamsa sannyasi. Not that only there are few people paramhamsa, okay? Because that is called marketing strategy. That's why any Swami writes paramhamsa, means you can close your eyes. Maybe that fellow is big, popular, whatever. It's completely marketing strategy. There is nothing called secret however. So every Swami sannyasi is supposed to be a paramhamsa sannyasi if has taken sannyasa properly. And here this is haṁsa, because very nicely, very carefully, we see one point. In fact, I was going through in Haṁsa Upanishad. So Haṁsa Upanishad, there is a Upanishad called Haṁsa Upanishad. There itself it says, Atha Haṁsa Paramhamsa Nirnayam Vyakshyasyamaha Brahmacharine Dantaya Guru Bhaktaya Haṁsa Haṁseti Sada Dhyanam. Sahesu Vyapya Vartate Yatha Yagnihi Katheshu Kashteshu Tilesu Tailam Iva Tam Viditva Na Mrityum Eti. What a beautiful point. Did you understand anything? See, at least this much you can understand. Yatha Kashteshu Agni. In wood, the Agni is inherent. The fire is inherent or not? Even though it is not visible, the fire is inherent in wood. You need to take the help of two woods to generate fire. Those days, olden days, that is how they generate fire from one wood to another wood. So also, he says, another example he gives, Tileshu Tailam Iva. How in seed, the oil is inherent. So also, he says, look, very nicely, that sarveshu deheshu, in all beings, if you observe, this haṁsa is there, mantra is there. And who does this chanting? Especially, we say very carefully, the brahmachari. So now who is Shantaha? Not only Shantaha, Dantaya cha. So Dantaya means, Danta means the one who is who has mastery over sense organs. So Danta. So both. And what happens now, to them only this haṁsa mantra is supposed to be taught, not anybody else. Guru Bhaktaya, the one who is devoted to Guru. If these are the things are not there, this haṁsa mantra is not supposed to be taught. Again, I am going back to the old method. This elderly person, actually he had made me maybe like a few months to run behind him to talk about this Ajapā mantra. Because we were very proud. Look, like some of you are proud. I am doing every day Sandhya Vandanam. I am doing my japa. What a pride. So each one also had own pride, nothing wrong in it. I had my own pride. Then that person started, shattering me. Oh, you are doing japam which is broken. There is a mantra which happens continuously. You are supposed to do Ajapā mantra. What is this? They will not say Ajapā mantra, they will say Ajapā japa. Very carefully they use this word, Ajapā japam. Hey, what is this Ajapā japam? Contradicting each other. Okay, you break your head. I had to break my head for 1 month, running behind him. He said, read book, look at this, look at that, try. So here is being talked the same secret very carefully. That's why I'm trying to give you background to enter. Why this teaching is being kept secret? Even though nowadays available everywhere. But does anything enter in anybody? Because mind is not prepared. When I say mind is not prepared, because the teaching is not my primary goal. So I look at everything first, my insecurity. If out of that insecurity sometime is there, let us attend the class. You understand? If Swamiji changes little bit time, morning to get up, very difficult. I have some office work, I have to go, I have to drop my child, I have to go, I have to do this, I have to do. Swamiji, you don't have anything. You are sitting in the ashram and doing this thing. You don't understand us, okay? Better I should not understand, okay? I need not understand also. In fact, few points I would like to highlight. Today mind got completely diverted. I had a lot of point to talk. That's why it depends upon you people how much you can pull from me. However, again mind got diverted today. However, come back now. Let us come to the topic. Now, so this haṁsa mantra, he uses this word here, that hokarena bahir yati. So that means what? When the vayu goes out. So this is what you need to understand. So when vayu goes out, that means what? Apāna, basically. So that when it goes out with a sound called hakara. The sound is hakara. The syllable stands ha. Later on we'll combine with it. Then it says sakarena vishet punah. So with the sound sa, it enters again, it comes back again. So that means, if you want to put little bit technically, Apāna is related to hakara and Prāṇa is related to sakara. It's a beautiful point. I'll relate with you later on, okay? A lot of points are there. Hakara related to Apāna and sakara related to Prāṇa. And he says, look, haṁsa iti ayam mantram. So this put together is called haṁsa. Actually, it becomes ahamsaha. So ha becomes ham, Finally it becomes A is not, A is silent there. Aham saha. Aham saha. You understand? Aham saha. That means what? Aham is related to Apāna and saha is related to Prāṇa. Is it clear? Now, if you observe, that's why we say, the more you bring, this is my observation, the more you bring ahankara, your apana becomes stronger. The more you bring saha, saha means that. So who is that God? That is God, the Brahman. The more you bring saha, the more your prana is elevated. Can you see this? However, here he says, this haṁsa, this mantra is continuously chanted by the jīva. But the problem is here, even though it is being chanted continuously, but I am not aware of it. So the whole process of yoga is nothing being aware of everything in my life. That's why the person has to be alert. In fact, you are supposed to have 360-degree vision. When you buy a camera, or nowadays a camera stand, what do you look for? Do you look for a 360-degree view or not? In fact, nowadays in Amazon you buy anything, including small also, they have put where to fix your things in your room, okay? So that also has got 360-degree vision, okay? What a funny idea. For anything, you look for 360-degree. For your vision, for yourself, do you have 360-degree? Not even if, 180-degree. Because two eyes are there, supposed to be 180-degree. You understand? Even if forget 180-degree, if it becomes 10 to 15-degree, I think that will be better, okay? Sometimes no degree, okay? In front of you, many things passes away. Is it so? Then somebody has to give a push. Okay. However, so this haṁsa mantra is continuing in me. And when it is continuing in me, I am supposed to be aware of it and I am supposed to tune my mind with this haṁsa mantra. And when it is being done, then you will see very carefully. In fact, let us read next. How many times? Then we'll see the next verse. षट्शतानि तहोरात्रे सहस्राण्येकविंशति एतत् संख्यान्वितं मन्त्रं जीवो जपति सर्वदा. In fact, he gives a beautiful number. So the number is षट्शतानि तु अहोरात्रे सहस्राणि एकविंशति एतत् संख्या अन्वितम्. So this is the specific count. So षट्शतानि means what? 600 plus सहस्राणि एकविंशति. So that means what? 21,000. 21,000 plus 600. Okay? So that means 21,600 times this haṁsa mantra continues in me. Etat sankshyanita mantram jīva japati sarvada. That too ahoratre. Day and night. Why this is being taught? Remember, as per Yoga Shastra, also as per Vedanta, the life of a person is calculated based on breathing, not based on the year. Remember this. In fact, we look at all calculation based on the breathing from individual standpoint. So each one is being given a given number of breathings. And in a day, one is supposed to breathe 21,600 times. Inhalation and exhalation put together. Now you can calculate, okay, how it works. And if a person starts breathing faster, then what will happen? So definitely we'll do more breathing. That's why if you observe any animal, a tortoise lives longer. Why? Because breathing is slower. A horse lives shorter because breathing is fast. That's why the whole life is how to monitor my breathing. That's why we say a yogi will not breathe unnecessarily. Breathing is that precious, you understand? When you understand the importance of the breathing, that you don't have to breathe unnecessarily, that time you are a beginner of yoga. Not, doing some asana or reading some text here and there. The day you understand the importance of the breathing and you are working that, look, I should not breathe unnecessarily. Not a single breath will be wasted. That time only I become a beginner in the field of yoga. And the whole process is to make sure that I must not breathe unnecessarily. Means the breathing must not go waste. You can say, Swamiji, my life is waste. What to talk about this breathing, okay? Yes, if you say so, what can I say? Nothing I can say except laughing. And once you understand that 21,600 times you are breathing, and this mantra is continuously going. That's why when you are aware of it, including in sleep time, you should be aware of your breathing. How? I can give you a lot of examples in this aspect. For example, if you are very much conscious or you are afraid of, let me take the fear. If you are afraid of something, like, unfortunately in Kashmir what has happened, which was not acceptable, whole world is stopped. They say terrorism doesn't belong to any religion, but they asked, what is your religion? If you are Muslim, still one fellow said, I am Muslim, read Kalma. And because he could not read Kalma, he was killed. Very unfortunate thing, which is not supposed to happen. Really, we are stuck. So Kashmir, again, back. And for that, our Supreme Court is responsible. I should not talk, but this is the truth now. In the world, there is only one group, whole over world. I don't know where from this comes. If you observe in your country, even if an ordinary person, a clerk, a piano, 4th grade person, is responsible whatever he or she does. Accountability and responsibility is there on everybody, except judge. All over the world, judges have no accountability, no responsibility. They can give any verdict, they cannot be questioned. And even if it goes to higher court dismisses, but they will not never punish the lower court judge or the same bench. What a great thing to happen in this world. Anyway, just I am taking a little bit from there. So here he says, look, this japam, when we do the fear, like this present case, suppose you are affected or you have seen this and you are sleeping in the night. Now, if you observe, even if you are deep sleep, you are tired, if somebody wakes up from the bed, you will start shouting, hey, don't wake up, don't disturb. So they may come on to attack. Because the fear is so strong in your subconscious mind, even if you are physically sleeping, somebody moves while you are sleeping, still you will shout at, because mind is awake. Have you ever observed this scenario in your life anytime? It happens. This is a wrong example I gave you, but it happens. Like that, a yogi is conscious while sleeping. So this haṁsa mantra continues even if the person is sleeping. And that sort of alertness must be there, and that is what called yoga, and that is called as Ajapā Gayatrī japa. And why it is called Ajapā Gayatrī, we'll discuss tomorrow.